What if I told you the most dangerous hours of your life happen while you're asleep? You might think nighttime is for rest, for recovery, for peace. But for millions of adults over 50, it's when hidden threats strike silently. No warning, no second chances. Today, we're revealing the 5 deadly risks that creep in after dark, and exactly how to outsmart them. Because here's the truth, what you don't know could cost you everything. But if you stay with me, you'll walk away with a plan, a way to protect yourself and the people you love. So listen closely, this could save your life. Let me tell you about John. He was 62, active, sharp, the kind of man who never missed his evening walk. One night, he went to bed feeling perfectly fine, but he never woke up. And here's what chills me to the bone, John's story isn't rare. Studies show that nearly half of all nighttime deaths in adults over 50 could have been prevented. Just imagine that. Half. Gone too soon, not from fate, but from risks they never saw coming. But here's the good news, you're not powerless. Those silent nighttime dangers? They're beatable. And by the end of this video, you'll have a clear, step-by-step plan to protect yourself, so you can sleep soundly and wake up safer, stronger, and in control. Number 1. The midnight heart attack. Let's talk about the first and deadliest nighttime killer, the midnight heart attack. Picture this, it's 2:37 a.m. The house is silent. Your body should be at rest, but your heart is in trouble. Studies show that over 50% of all cardiac arrests in seniors happen between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. That's not just a statistic, that's half of all heart attacks striking when you're most vulnerable, when no one's awake to notice the warning signs. Why does this happen? 3 hidden culprits work together while you sleep. First, your blood pressure naturally dips at night, which sounds good, but for many it drops too low, starving your heart of oxygen. Second, dehydration. Those 8 hours without water? They thicken your blood, making your heart work twice as hard. And third, perhaps the most dangerous, undiagnosed sleep apnea. That snoring you brush off? It could be causing hundreds of mini suffocations each night, shocking your heart over and over. Here's what's terrifying, most victims never feel it coming. No chest-clutching Hollywood drama. Just silence. Maybe some nausea. A cold sweat. Symptoms so mild you sleep right through them until it's too late. But here's your power move. Prevention is shockingly simple. Start with water. Drink 1 full glass 30 minutes before bed. Not coffee. Not tea. Plain water. This fights nighttime dehydration and keeps your blood flowing smoothly. Next, monitor your blood pressure every night just before bed. If it's consistently below 110/70 or above 140/90, that's your red flag. Finally, and this is crucial, ask your doctor about a sleep study. One night with sensors could reveal if you're having those dangerous breathing pauses that strain your heart. Remember, your heart doesn't take nights off. Neither should your protection. These 3 simple steps take less than 5 minutes a day, but could add decades to your life. Number 2. The 3 a.m. stroke. Now let me tell you about Susan, a vibrant 58-year-old who woke up at 2 a.m. feeling like the room was spinning. Just vertigo, she thought. I'll sleep it off. But by sunrise, her husband found her slumped against the pillows, her words slurred, her right side limp. Those precious hours between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m.? They're called the stroke witching hours, when your blood is thickest, your blood pressure lowest, and help is hardest to get. And here's what doctors won't tell you. Every minute you wait costs you 2 million brain cells. The terrifying truth? Strokes love the cover of darkness. They strike when you're alone, disoriented from sleep, and least likely to call for help. The warning signs are subtle but unmistakable. A sudden numbness that feels like your arm fell asleep but doesn't wake up. Confusion so intense you can't remember your own phone number. A headache that hits like a thunderclap, completely different from any headache you've had before. Here's your survival plan. First, keep a charged phone on your nightstand, not across the room, not in another charger right where your dominant hand naturally falls. Program emergency contacts on speed dial. Second, memorize the fast test. Face, does one side droop when you smile? Arms, can you raise both equally? Speech, can you say a simple sentence clearly? Time, if any of these fail, it's 911 time. But here's the real lifesaver. If something feels off at night, even if you're not sure, call 911 immediately. Better a false alarm than permanent damage. Because unlike heart attacks, strokes have a miracle treatment window, but only if you act fast. Your future self will thank you for those quick 3 a.m. decisions. Number 3. The choking hazard. Imagine this: you're sound asleep when suddenly, you bolt upright gasping for air. Your throat feels like it's sealed shut. No sound. No warning. Just silent, panicked choking in the dark. This isn't a nightmare, it's a reality for thousands of seniors every year. In fact, people over 60 are 10 times more likely to choke in their sleep than younger adults. And here's why that number should terrify you. Most victims don't make a sound. No coughing. No gagging. Just silence. The nighttime choking epidemic happens because of 3 perfect storms working against you. First, dry mouth from medications that turns your throat into a desert. Second, weakened throat muscles that can't clear food properly. And third, that innocent late-night snack that becomes a deadly obstruction when you fall asleep before digesting. The scariest part? Unlike restaurants where people can perform the Heimlich, when you choke alone at 3 a.m., no one's coming to save you. But here's how to bulletproof your nights. First, sleep with your head elevated at least 30 degrees. This simple angle change keeps fluids from pooling in your throat. Second, establish a no food after 8 p.m. rule. That bedtime yogurt? More dangerous than you think. Third, choose sugar-free gum for 5 minutes before bed. It stimulates saliva better than water alone. And here's a pro tip no one mentions: keep a bottle of alkaline water by your bed. The higher pH helps break down any food particles trying to cling to your throat. Remember, choking doesn't discriminate between a steak dinner or a simple pill. One survivor told me his near-death experience happened with nothing but saliva. Your throat is the most vulnerable place in your body after dark. Guard it like your life depends on it, because one night, it just might. Number 4. The deadly fall. It happens in seconds. One moment you're shuffling to the bathroom, the next, you're on the floor with a sickening crack. Here's the hard truth no one wants to face. That midnight trip to the toilet is statistically the most dangerous thing you'll do all day. 1 in 4 seniors will fall this year, and most of those falls will happen between bedtime and sunrise. Why? Because darkness turns your familiar home into an obstacle course where a misplaced slipper or shadowy doorway becomes a life-altering hazard. Your body betrays you at night in 3 cruel ways. First, your blood pressure drops when you stand, causing dizzy spells. Second, sleep grogginess slows your reaction time. Third, weaker night vision makes judging distances nearly impossible. The result? A simple bathroom trip becomes a high-stakes gamble where the price of losing is a broken hip, or worse. But here's your 3-point safety system that takes minutes to implement but could save your independence. First, install motion-activated night lights along your path to the bathroom. Not just one every 3 feet. Second, wear non-slip socks with silicone grips, not ordinary socks that slide on hardwood. Third, install a bedside grab bar that lets you stabilize before taking that first step. And here's the game changer. Keep a walking cane hooked on your bed frame even if you don't normally use one. That midnight stability could mean the difference between a close call and a 911 call. Remember this chilling fact. After a serious fall, only half of seniors ever regain their former independence. Those midnight moments of disorientation aren't just inconvenient, they're critical vulnerabilities. Your future mobility depends on the precautions you take tonight. Because the best time to prevent a fall isn't after it happens, it's right now, while you're still standing. Number 5. The oxygen crisis. Meet Mike, a 63-year-old who laughed off his harmless snoring for decades. Just a family trait, he'd say. Then came the morning he woke up gasping like a fish out of water, his chest pounding like a jackhammer. The diagnosis? Severe sleep apnea that had silently damaged his heart for years. Here's what nobody tells you about those nighttime breathing pauses. Every time your airway closes, your brain panics, your blood pressure spikes, and your heart takes another hit. It's like someone strangling you hundreds of times each night without you even remembering it come morning. This silent suffocation epidemic affects nearly 1 in 3 adults over 50, yet most don't realize they're at risk because the symptoms hide in plain sight. That afternoon fatigue you blame on aging? The morning headaches? The need to pee multiple times at night? These are all red flags your body is fighting for oxygen while you sleep. And here's the terrifying part. Untreated sleep apnea doubles your risk of heart attacks and strokes while accelerating dementia by up to 10 years. The solution starts with a simple $50 device, a pulse oximeter you wear on your finger while sleeping. This tiny gadget tracks your oxygen levels, revealing those dangerous drops you'd never feel. Look for readings below 90% or sudden dips lasting more than 10 seconds. These are your body's distress signals. If you spot them, demand a sleep study. Modern CPAP machines aren't the clunky nightmares of years past. Today's models are whisper quiet and can literally add years to your life. Remember Mike's story when you hear yourself or your partner snoring tonight. That rumbling noise isn't just an annoyance, it's the sound of someone struggling to breathe. Your brain, your heart, and your future self are counting on you to take those gasps seriously. Because the difference between a long life and a shortened one might just be one night's worth of data from a device that fits on your fingertip. How many of you have woken up with that dry, panicked gasp for air? Be honest, comment gasp below so I know I'm not alone in this. Quick show of hands. Who here has ever ignored a midnight dizzy spell, only to regret it by morning? Type dizzy if that sounds familiar. Right now, hit pause and go plug in your phone by your bedside. I'll wait. Because what good are these tips if your phone dies at 3 a.m. when you need it most? Subscribe and turn on notifications. Your future self will have VIP access to the one tip that might save their life next week. If you've ever tiptoed to the bathroom clinging to walls like it's an obstacle course, say wall walker in the comments. Let's commiserate. For everyone who's ever blamed their exhaustion on just getting older, take a screenshot of this moment. In 30 days, I want you to tell me if what you learned here changed your mind. Before we continue, take 3 slow breaths with me. In and out. That right there? That's how your lungs should work all night. If they don't, you'll want to hear what comes next. The first 100 people to comment safer sleep will get my free nighttime safety checklist. Because protecting yourself shouldn't be a solo mission. Let's be crystal clear, everything we've covered today. These aren't just possible risks. They're real. They're happening right now to someone just like you. But here's what I need you to remember with every fiber of your being. Your power to fight back is just as real. Tonight, not tomorrow, not next week. I want you to take one immediate action. Maybe it's moving your phone charger to your bedside. Maybe it's writing fast test on your bathroom mirror. Or maybe it's finally making that doctor's appointment you've been putting off. These aren't just small tasks, they're the building blocks of safer decades ahead. I need you to do 2 things for me right now. First, if anything in this video made you nod your head or catch your breath, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm to show this to more people who need this information. Second, share this with one person you couldn't bear to lose to a preventable nighttime tragedy. Your spouse. Your childhood friend. That neighbor who always checks in on you. We spend 1/3 of our lives asleep, but we shouldn't spend a single second of that time in danger. Together, let's reclaim the night. Let's make bedtime what it's meant to be: safe, restorative, and peaceful. Because you deserve to close your eyes tonight knowing you've stacked the deck in your favor. This is your life. This is your health. Take control. I believe in you. Now go show the world and yourself what that belief can do.